Hi all, it's V. Welcome to Oslo, Norway. What a fantastic place. Here is what I consider the must-do attractions. So our cruise got into Oslo on a Sunday, and I swear this car coming is the first one we've seen in ages. The only people we've seen are cruise people with luggage and out trying to figure out what to do, where to tour. Number one absolutely has to be the museums. There's an entire museum island with 5 major museums and so many others dotted throughout the city. December 14th, 1911. And that's the Fram Polar Museum behind it. And then here there's about 3 museums all in a little triangle. There's Kon-Tiki, the Polar Museum, and the Maritime Museum, which is there. Maritime Museum has a nice cafe. Get the cinnamon rolls if you like cinnamon. Highly recommended. For a museum lover like myself, Oslo is incredible. Others on Museum Island include the Viking Ship Museum, which was closed when we were there but looks incredible, the Maritime Museum, and the Open Air Cultural Museum. Throughout the city, there are over 50 museums, like the Munch Museum for Edvard Munch, the artist, the National Museum, the Nobel Peace Center, a skating museum, so many more. I could spend months just going to the museums in this city. There's the National Museum. And on the other side of the harbor is the Nobel Peace Prize Center, which houses the Museum for the Nobel Peace Prize. We visited the Kon-Tiki Museum, which houses vessels and maps from the Kon-Tiki expedition. Norwegian adventurer Thor Heyerdahl used the vessels now located in this museum to sail from Peru to Polynesia to prove that the people who lived in Polynesia could have at one point come from South America. These vessels are tiny. I can't imagine being on them for so long in the ocean. The other museum we visited was the Fram. The Fram was the first ship built in Norway for polar research. It was used on 3 important expeditions, including Amundsen's South Pole expedition in 1910 to 1912. The entire ship is housed in this museum, and it's incredible to walk on this ship and think where it has been and the history it has made. Number 2, Akershus Fortress. Built in the 1290s, the fortress was built to protect and provide a royal residence. It has been used as a military base, a prison, and office for the Prime Minister of Norway. It's free to visit, but the day we were there was a private event, so we could only see the outside areas. You could feel the history as you walk around, and the buildings are gorgeous. This is the carp pond, and there are several of them in here.
In some ways, you think that's
Sally's Gate. It was originally called the Double Battery, and it became a museum in 1967. And it is right beside an execution ground. This is the execution ground. There were 42 Norwegians executed by German occupiers in 1945. How sad is that?
And they put that memorial up in 1949.
And they put this memorial up in 1949. This is a list of all the people executed. How very sad, but what incredible people. They deserve a memorial. That is the prison chapel, and over beside it is the prison. What year? Sorry, Eden's reading this to me. 1866 for the chapel. What about the prison? Akershus National Penitentiary. 1652. 1754. Corps de Garde. Been used for several things. So the fortress was built right on the water here, right on the port. Castle's actually closed today due to a function, but the rest of the fortress is open and all of it's free except for the castle, which is the equivalent of $10. So this is beside the fortress, and there are horses back here. Aren't they gorgeous? Number 3, sculpture. I'm not sure I've seen a city celebrate sculpture like Oslo. Not only can you find it on so many streets, there is an entire park dedicated to the sculptures of one man. Everywhere you go, there are statues and sculptures, and it makes Oslo such a beautiful city. This is Angry Little Boy. Number 4, take a walk around the city. Just walking around the city, you run into beautiful squares, water fountains, coffee shops, restaurants. It's a beautiful city with flowers and green spaces everywhere and gorgeous architecture. Johannesburg is in a bit of a park here. It's so pretty. Fountains. Number 5, a fjord cruise. A cruise around Oslofjord is a great way to see the city as it goes by many of the attractions and has beautiful views of the city skyline along with small islands just outside Oslo. And an honorable mention, a great way to see a lot of the attractions and city views is the hop-on hop-off sightseeing bus. It's a great way to get around the city and see a lot if you're short on time. If you have time, it's a great way to get to some of the great museums. However you get around the city, Oslo is a fantastic place and I highly recommend a visit. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much. This is the Opera House. And when it's nice weather, you can see people just all around it. It just seems like a good place to come and hang out, even if there's nothing on.